Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ollie Rodriguez, and in today's video, it's a little bit different because the kind people at Angel's Horn have sent me this large package. Now, at the end of 2024, my girlfriend kindly got me the vinyl player that I've got up here, which is an Angel's Horn. Can't remember the exact number of it, but the guys over there basically saw my video that I made on it, which you can go and watch up in one of those corners. And a few weeks ago, they basically reached out and asked if I would like to review one of their latest products, which is what we got here, which is a HO19, and I am going to get into it and show you guys exactly what we've got. As always, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so if you could press the subscribe button, that'd be greatly appreciated. One thing I want to clarify before I open this box, so this is not a sponsored video or anything, however, they did send this for me for free, so I just want to be transparent with you guys and let you know that. Haven't been paid to say anything, so whatever I think of this is what I think of it. And with that said, let's get into it. So here we have the Angel's Horn HO19, and I'm really excited to see this one. Obviously, as you can tell straight up the way from the cover of the box, it doesn't come with actual speakers next to it or anything, or external speakers I should say. However, obviously as you can see at the bottom, it's got quite a thickness to it, and that's because that is in fact the actual speaker itself. So it's essentially an all-in-one kit, so I'm really excited to see how this one plays and how it sounds. And I think we need to just have a look at this thing and actually get an idea for how it looks and how it plays. So give me a sec. And here's a bit more of the box. So obviously as you can see, you get a cover there, you get the side details there, on the back, nothing. The more details on the front, if I flip it this way, just a bit more about the specs of it. Nice and easy to open. Always like that, bit handy. So as you can see in front of me, these are all the bits that come with it that you basically have to put together yourself. It's a fairly easy setup from the last time I did the one up here. The instructions of putting it together is pretty simple to follow, so I'm gonna put it all together for you and then we'll get into it and have a look at how it plays. So here is the HO19 from Angel's Horn. Now, straight off the bat, I want to say I really love how clean this actually comes across and looks. Obviously, it is fresh out of the box, so it is going to have a bit more of that like freshness about it. Either way, it does look really good, and I really do like the design of Angel's Horn and everything that they've sort of done to make this work. Like the speaker side of it, whilst it is like, it does make it look like a really big sandwich, it's not too much, if that makes sense. I think once I start playing the vinyl on this, you'll see why it has to be so big, because I think to keep the same sound but also keep it convenient in terms of space, I think they made the design really work for it. Another aspect I am liking is actually the dials on this. I'm not sure how to describe it, but to me it really does remind me of how like a guitar amp would look, and something on that sort of level. That's kind of what it's sort of giving me with these dials. And something I will say that I do like about this one over the one I've currently got is you literally just twist the dial and then it turns on, whereas on mine I kind of have to keep always going to the back of it to flick it on, which is kind of a bit inconvenient where it is up there, because then I've got to put my hand right against the wall to get it on. So that's just a nice like little addition that's sort of convenient again, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this. This is convenient. Like currently, if I would compare this to my other one, the surface it's currently on, this surface is like a little shorter than what that one's on currently, but I can literally move this over here and I've still got all this space here, whereas that one up there, it's got the two speakers next to it and it takes up the entire thing essentially. There's not much room for, I mean, I'm lucky enough to get enough space to display the vinyl record there. So you've got plenty of space here if you want to put like an actual vinyl display, if you want to put one of those things that actually like have the reaction to sound going on, like, you know what I'm on about. This gives you a lot more space, and without even listening to it, what I am liking about it so far is how much space it sort of frees up from having a record player like the one I've currently got up here. Now, what I will say about the setup, obviously I tried doing that little time lapse and hopefully I didn't look too confused throughout the whole thing, but this one was definitely much quicker to set up compared to that. Obviously you are putting speakers into that, so that sort of like extends the setup time. The band that actually connects everything together is actually connected to this metal plate, and they've actually made it super easy where underneath this there's like nice pockets where you can actually easily pull out the string and actually attach it through there. So they made the process for setting up much easier with this one. Like without even playing anything so far, I would probably say this is like the perfect first vinyl player in terms of quick setup, saving a good amount of space. And on top of that, it's pretty simple with what settings you got on here in terms of what to play. There is a Bluetooth setting on here, which is always good to have on these. And sometimes it is just convenient to just hook up your phone so you're not constantly getting up and down when you're like having a long, say, gaming session like I might. And that way you can just like listen to what you need on your phone. So I do appreciate having the Bluetooth setting there because it is handy. But enough of all that, I think it's time we actually play a record. So the record I'm going to try today on this brand new Angels horn is going to be J.Cole with the 10th anniversary of Forest Hills Drive. And I haven't actually played this one on vinyl yet, so it'd be nice to actually see. And it's a lovely blue disc to actually put onto this one as a first time try. So let's give it a go.
I wrote back and said, of course I had sex before, knowing I was frontin'. I said, I'm like a pro, baby, knowing I was stuntin'. Home snatched my mama keychain, shook her whip, the appeal. She still let him hit.
So that was the Angels Horn HO19. I've had my first listen through of a record on here, and honestly, I'm super impressed with it. For a piece of kit like this, of this size, I was not expecting it to be as loud as it could go. I didn't even go to the maximum on this, and it was really good audio. And if I am being completely honest, it is much better than I was expecting it to be, especially as it's an all-in-one kit. The record itself played really well, and the audio was really crisp as well. Like, for a piece of kit like this, I was not expecting it to sound so good, genuinely. Now, I will say the only thing that did kind of like make me feel not certain in it is basically this whole section here. As you can kind of see, if I literally lightly press it, you can see it makes the whole thing wobble. Like, for me, I'm not fully confident in that, but that's literally only a thing if I'm pressing down on it. It's one of those things that makes me uncertain, but I will say, like, it seems like to make this all come together, it's kind of positioned how it needs to be. And that probably goes into the more technical side of things that I'm not exactly qualified for. But whilst it was playing the record, I didn't notice anything going wrong with it, and it honestly just came across really well. So that's like the one little detail I've kind of noticed, but otherwise this whole kit, I think it's super worth it. From my point of view, if you're serious about vinyl collecting and playing records, I think this is the perfect starter kit. Like, if you know someone or you have a family member who is into like collecting records and playing records, and maybe they've got like the very first starter kit, which for me was like a suitcase, or they're looking to upgrade from whatever they have, or they're just looking for their first actual vinyl player, I think this is probably a great place to start. Like, you're gonna get the exact, if not maybe even better, like, quality of sound as you would in like these speakers up here I've got. And what makes that better is you don't have to do any extra setup to get the speakers in there. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, it saves a lot of space, this. Like, yeah, it's a little bit more higher, giving it a little bit of bulk to it. However, it saves a lot of space too. So you kind of like, you get one con, but you get a massive pro out of that too. And I mean, if you're looking to get a bit of a setup going, you could easily make that work to a design. You could put plants around it to kind of like build a bit of depth into whatever display or setup you've got. Like, you can do a lot with this in terms of how it looks and making it work for your display and your setup. And on top of all of that, is super easy to set up. For me, like, if I can do it, you can do it. And if you are struggling, there is a guide that comes with it. And one of the things I do always like about Angel Horn and their guides is they include a QR code, which takes you to a video to show you how it's done, which for someone like me, super handy. And honestly, this is going to be competing for the spot there, I reckon. Like, genuinely, I think it's like, I think one of the things I am really enjoying about this one is the space and how much space it can save and how much space it would mean I could actually put up there. So I think it's in contendership, and honestly, like, the sound quality of it is still just as good in my opinion as those regular speakers. So yeah, there's definitely potential for it. And if you are interested in picking this one up yourself, there is a link in the description. I'll also put it in the pinned comments too, and I'll try to include the US version of it as well. I'm obviously from the UK, so I will also include the UK link for it. And also, with it being on Amazon, it's quite a good option because obviously you can get it through Prime on there, so that's always good. Always nice to get your stuff a bit quicker, but this does go for £270 on Amazon. However, currently there is a offer on there which saves you £35, so it's around about $235, I believe. And another thing I didn't actually mention is this is the walnut version. There is a black version that they've got as well. So if you are looking for a different aesthetic, the black one might work a bit better for you. Me personally, I obviously prefer like the wooden look we've got going, and obviously with the place here, obviously we've got a wooden coffee table, got a wooden setup here. There's a lot of wood going on, so the vinyl player also having that sort of walnut sort of look to it as well, it kind of helps sort of fit into the aesthetic we've got going. So if that's something that's important to you, then there is another version of it there as well. So I do hope you found that review helpful. Please do go in the comments if you do have any questions, because I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if I can't answer them, then I've got a contact to Angel Horn who I can reach out to, and they'll be more than happy to help figure out what it is you want to know about it. Now, I do just want to state one last time that Angel's Horn, they did send this to me for free. I was not paid for this video, so I just want to lay the transparency out for you there. But a massive thank you to them for actually choosing to send this out to me. I'm really appreciative of that. And this is kind of my first partnership, so it feels kind of like really awesome to be able to do this with those guys. Hopefully you guys are happy with the outcome of this video, for the guys at Angel Horn, that is. And hopefully you guys watching have actually been able to learn something about this record player, and hopefully it's helped you sort of decide if you want to purchase it or not, or what, get some thoughts on it, hopefully help you with your buying experience with coming to a vinyl player. If you've got to ask me about this record player, I highly recommend it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If you're thinking about getting this one, let me know in the comments. If you have questions, again, go in the comments, let me know, I'll be able to help answer them for you. One last thank you to Angel's Horn, and thank you all for watching. I've been Ollie Rodriguez Storm. Make sure to subscribe, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. I shall see you in the next video. Take care.